What is going on, guys? Welcome back to PBL Season 7 Week 6. Week 6 video. We are coming off the back of a pretty big loss last week to Easy Bake and the Orlando Magic Guards. Sorry about that. It was pretty unfortunate. We got bodied, absolutely bodied, but we're coming back strong, and we are taking on the Toronto Staraptors this week. And coach Spida Fan. Spida Fan's a good mate. We battled once before in PBL. I managed to beat him in a close game. But this week we really need a win. As you can see, we're 2-4. We got a poor differential. We really can't afford to get a loss here. If we lose, we'll likely drop down to 18th at the best, or 17th, sorry, at best. If we win, we probably won't go too far up. We'll probably just stay where we are, but there's a few other games that are yet to be played, and we could bump up ahead of a lot of those. But any progress up is good progress. So let's get right into the matchup. So Spider Fan, sorry, I'm a bit out of it today. Spider Fan has a Landoristerian, which is a really good ground and flying type Intimidate user. So it drops your attack stat when it enters the battlefield. Gets up rocks, it can clear them away with defog. Doesn't get recovery, which is really good. Sorry. Doesn't get recovery, but it has a ridiculous attack stat and is a great speed stat for Scarf user. It also gets rock polish for setup. Rock polish for setup, sword stance, so we can really clean through teams. This thing can be run offensively, it can be run defensively. It's got a lot of great utility, and is a very big threat, and I expect it to come. He's got a Magnezone, which is a really powerful electric steel type, with a fantastic special attack stat. Really slow, but it's got the ability Analytic, which powers up its moves if it hits last. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. It also gets Magnet Pull, which can trap steel types, which could be coming for my Melmetal. I honestly wouldn't. It would be a possibility, definitely, but I do think he'll bring Analytic if it does come, because Magnezone really puts in the work. He's got a Slowbro, which is a really bulky water and psychic type. Fantastic physically defensive wall. I fully expect this thing to come, considering it is his best switch in to Melmetal. Very slow, also runs teleport as well as for momentum, for slow momentum. I'm pretty sure he's brought that quite a number of times, and with Regenerator it heals up HP when it switches out, so that's going to make it really problematic for me. He's got a Roserade, which is a great grass and poison type. Really high special attack stat with Technician as well, but also has decent defensive stats, can be run defensively with Leech Seed, Toxic Spikes, a lot of defensive utility on that front. He's got a Persian Alola, which isn't too flash, but it's really fast and does get the move Parting Shot, which drops your attack and special attack and switches you out like any other momentum move. That thing could definitely that thing could show up and really and if it does come, it'll probably bring Parting Shot. It's honestly not too flashed. we don't really appreciate Parting Shot too much, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does come, particularly because it outspeeds my Mega Latios. He's got a Cryogonal, which is a Rapid Spinner and Defogger, dual removal, which is really nice. It gets Levitate, which means it's immune to my ground type attacks. It also gets recovery. It gets Freeze Dry, and a few other little gimmicks. This thing is mostly specially defensive, considering it's exceptionally frail on the physical side. It's pretty fast as well, and it hits decently hard. Really tanky, definitely something to watch out for, but I don't really think I don't think it's going to come. It could, but I'm not sure if it will. He's got a Mega Diancie, which you know all about because I had it in TBA. Because the week's over by the time I'm recording this. Actually, no, it's over anyway because the video dropped last week. Anyways, really powerful Rock and Fairy type, gets tons of setup, gets tons of physical and special coverage. Ridiculous offensive stats, ridiculous defensive stats. Problem is it's 4 times weak to steel, but I don't really have like Bullet Punch or anything on any of my Pokemon. I've just got Melmetal, which does come in and take a few hits, but it doesn't take them too well. He's got a Conkelda, which I 100% expect to show up. It's been his MVP pretty much all season. It's really, really bulky and really powerful with its 140 attack stat, guts boosted as well. Facade, drain punch, muck punch, coverage like elemental punches and rock slide, stone edge, stuff like that. It gets all of that. It's very, very worrying. It's very threatening, but I think we can. I think we're going to struggle with it, to be honest. Chandelure he's also got, which is a powerful special attacker. Massive special attack stat, 80 speed, so it's great for a Scarf user. Fairly bulky as well for a Ghost and Fire type. This thing is really worrisome. As you can see, he has a lot of offensive threats. He has massive, massive offensive threats on this team. Noivern is another one of them, which I have in EDL. You've seen how I use it. He's probably gonna use it pretty much the same. It's the fastest Pokemon on his team, and it's the fastest Pokemon in the game. My fastest is 122 with Greninja, and Noivern hits 123. He's got a really great special attack stat with Specs as well. If Noivern's typically run with Specs, it can also run utility like heavy duty boots, but it doesn't hit nearly as hard. And lastly, he's got a Kamala, which is a surprisingly powerful normal type. It's his stall breaker. He hasn't brought it to a game yet, but it still might come. It gets rapid spin, but it's one of its more gimmicky sets is, well, not really gimmicky because it actually works, but Sleep Talk, Last Resort, Banded, hits like a truck with its 115 attack stat. Last Resort is like a 140 base power move or something like that. I don't know, it's ridiculous. It gets a ridiculous amount of coverage. It does get Wish, so it is his Wish Passer, his low tier Wish Passer, but he's never actually needed it. But he does have a very, very scary team. As you can see though, he doesn't really have a lot of switch-ins for my offensive threats, although we don't really have a lot for his either. So we're taking a very hyper-offensive approach. His types are pretty well balanced as well, which is definitely something to note, but I think we can... I'm not optimistic about this game by any means, but I do think we can make it work with a hyper-offensive approach. So let's take a look at the team that we're bringing. We are bringing Choice Scarf Passimian, Do the Harker with Close Combat, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Aerial Ace, Max Speed, Max Attack, Jolly to Speed tie with the Chandelure. He has a massive fighting weakness. The things that he has that resist fighting get taken down by my other coverage, Knockoff, U-Turn, Aerial Ace. We should be able to handle it. We should be able to handle his switch-ins pretty well, but Passimian can really put in a lot of work against his team. Hopefully he can really put a lot of work in. Slowbro is worrisome though, but if we can knock off, we can U-turn under, get some big damage off. But it also is good for... He does have an Intimidate user in Landorus, so he might not bring Landorus in fear of giving me that Defiant boost, but it definitely means that Landorus is not his switch-in, because he doesn't want to take a +1 hit. Next up we have Emirates, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Waterfall, Dragon Claw, Physical, Mega Latios, tears his team apart. We need to chip down Slowbro, obviously, but if we can find some way to set up, maybe on a switch or in front of Slowbro or something. Slowbro might have Toxic, we'll have to scout for that, but maybe he locks himself into a choice, maybe he brings Choice Scarf Landorus and locks himself into Earthquake, or Choice Scarf Chandelure or locks himself into Flamethrower. We're able to set up in his face and really dent his team with this coverage. Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Waterfall, hits everything on his team, at least neutral, which is fantastic for us. We're bringing Return to the King, Life Orb, Sheer Force as per usual, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam, Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes to really try and punish his switch-ins, although we might swap that for Stealth Rocks. But we're running enough speed. I don't remember what we're trying to outspeed. I think it's Uninvested Landorus. I think that sounds about right. 218, no, 286. What's 285? 284 is Chandelure, so I think we're trying to outspeed max speed Chandelure. With this set, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Ice Beam really tears his team apart. He doesn't really have the most reliable switch-in, and he has to make predictions, which is fantastic for us, and we can take hits as well. Nidoking has some decent bulk, so we can take hits if necessary. We are bringing Life Orb, Zapdos, Love and Thunder, Roost, Thunderbolt, Hurricane, and Heat Wave. This thing is our Slowbro switch in. It's designed to break him down. And it puts in quite a lot of work against his team, like most things here do. I don't remember what the speed is. 310. Oh yeah, 310. It's enough to outspeed the Landorus Therian at max speed. Should he bring that, we can hit it back with a Hurricane, assuming it hits and doesn't miss. The real thing that forces us out are the Cryogonal and the Diancie. We can kind of take a hit from Noivern. I think I'll have to double check the calcs, but Diancie is his revenge. Diancie is what comes in on us, which is very, very scary. We're bringing Choice Specs, Greninja, we're bringing Scarf Tongue with Water Shuriken, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and U-Turn. Water Shuriken is fantastic because if he sets up a Rock Polish with Landorus or Diancie, we're able to get that priority and Water Shuriken with max special attack specs and do maximum damage back to it. Might be able to knock it out, but we'll have to run calcs. Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, U-Turn. Dark Pulse, Ice Beam really put in a lot of work against his team, and U-Turn is just great for momentum. We're running enough speed to outspeed the Persian Alola, I believe. 361, 363, yeah. Enough speed to outspeed Alolan and Persian, just in case he runs max speed on that, but hopefully this thing can put in a lot of work. And last but not least, Busted Nut, our Assault Vest Melmetal. This is our defensive tank for as long as it can last. Double Iron Bash, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and Darkest Lariat. Darkest Lariat just in case he runs some, I don't know, but it bypasses defensive checks, which I regret not bringing against last week against Mew, but I'm making sure that I don't fall into any trap like that again. I'll also bring it against Easy Bake if I face him another time, but we'll see. So we're running max HP, a lot of special defense with the Assault Vest, so we can take hits from the Mega Diancie, as well as the rest in attack for Double Iron Bash to do a lot of damage. I was tossing between this and I think it was Decidueye or Muck as my last Pokemon. I ultimately decided for this because it could kind of come in on Mega Diancie and Revenge Kill it. If it can come in for free, he doesn't have a lot of switch-ins to this thing as well, which is fantastic, except for the Slowbro. The Slowbro I'm really, really worried about, but hopefully we can take it down between, mostly with Zapdos. If Zapdos goes down, we might be in a bit of trouble, but we do have things for the Slowbro, although that is my main concern. But if we can take that thing down, I think we'll be okay, as long as we just keep putting on the offensive pressure and not letting him catch a break. So that's the team builder for this video, for this battle. I will see you guys in just a few moments. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our PBL Season 7 Week 6 battle with Spida. We just jumped right into it. I did start recording a bit earlier, but unfortunately I got a call, so the recording cut out. Anyway, we're back here. He's brought the Mega Diancie, the Slowbro, Landorus, Therian, Cryogonal, Conkeldurr, and Magnezone. Pretty much what was expected. In terms of a lead, I'm really not sure what I should go with. I think his most likely leads are probably going to be the Magnezone or the Landorus, in which case Passimian is probably the best. If he goes into Landorus, I can switch, but I'm really not sure what I'd switch into. If I lead Greninja, I probably can. Can Magnezone outspeed? Does Scarf Magnezone outspeed Greninja, is the question. Magnezone at Choice Scarf hits max speed, Choice Scarf hits 360, and we hit 363. So we actually do outspeed the Magnezone. How much do we do back? And we do a lot back with Dark Pulse, or we can just U-turn out. So I think our safest lead is probably Greninja. Okay, so we lead with the Conkeldurr. Okay, Conkeldurr could be Muck Punch, but he isn't burnt yet, which is good. We don't really hit it back overly hard though, so I think I might just hard switch into probably the Zapdos, although he may predict the Zapdos switch right off the bat. I think I'm gonna go, if he predicts the Zapdos, he either goes for an Ice Punch or for a Rock Slide. He could also go for a Muck Punch. I think our safest bet might just be to switch into Zapdos, although I want to make sure I can save it as much as I can for the Slowbro. Remember, he isn't burnt yet, so he won't do nearly as much damage. Maybe we can go into Nidoking. I feel like Nidoking might be the most expendable member right now. So I think we'll just switch into Nidoking. Okay, so he switches hard into Magnezone, which is fantastic for us. So now we can go for an Earth Power. However, he could just switch into Landorus or Cryogonal, because he would fully be expecting an Earth Power. So I think I'm going to go for an Ice Beam. I think I'm going to go to an Ice Beam. It's a pretty neutral play. If he goes into Landorus, okay, so he goes into Cryogonal. That does about 15%. He's not leftovers. So let's have a look. Nidoking into Cryogonal. We did about 15% with Ice Beam. So he's bulky. He's max HP, but he's not running special defense. So that's very good to know. Sludge Wave's going to do about 50%, but he can do a lot back with Freeze Dry. Melmetal's a good switch in though, so we're just going to go hard into that. He goes straight for the Ice Beam, which doesn't freeze. Thank goodness it doesn't. I'm not quite sure what he goes into here. Probably the Slowbro. So I'm going to hard switch into Zapdos on the Slowbro. I think that's the play here. We got to outpredict him. I also don't want to risk, because he could be running. Yeah, so he does go into Slowbro. He could be running Rocky Helmet. So I want to make sure I get these right. Okay, so we can do a lot back to him. What do we do with Zapdos to Cryogonal? We do a lot with Thunderbolt, a lot more with Heat Wave. He doesn't stay in. There's no way he stays in. So I think I might go for a Hurricane or a Heat Wave. I think I'm going to go for a Heat Wave. So he does stay in. We get the burn, which is cool, and he just goes straight for the Teleport. Okay, that's cool. Teleport was a very smart thing, and I completely forgot that it existed. We played each other earlier this week in another league. He did burn me with Flare Blitz, which ended up 2-hit KOing my Umbreon, which otherwise wouldn't. I'm going to switch into Nidoking on the DNC because I want to try and save... Yeah, because I wanted to try and save Melmetal as much as I could. He could go for a Psychic move, so I might just switch hard into Greninja. He either switches or goes for the coverage. He could also go for an Earth Power. So I might just go into Latios. Although, because then it leads into going into into another move. Okay. Mega Diancie is worrying. Does he? He's gone for the Diamond Storms. We might not have Psychic coverage, but he still might have Earth Power, which is what worries me the most. So I think I might just go into Latios. I think I'm going to go into Latios on the Earth Power. You got it right. Okay, that's awesome. Now he probably goes for a Play Rough or a Moonblast, so I'll probably go into Melmetal, I think. Make sure I get that right. I want to take minimal damage. I think he might just stay in here. Or he might not just stay in. He's probably going to be running max speed to try and go for the speed tie. So he's probably not running any bulk at all. Which would be fantastic, because it means I can hit him harder. Obviously, I'm really nervous, if you couldn't tell. But I'm nervous in every game, so... Okay. So we just go straight for the Moonblast. Now I think we can go for a Thunder Punch here on the switch into Slowbro. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to predict the switch into Slowbro, or he could just stay in, but he probably knows that we're AV now. I think I have to go for it. I think I'm going to go for it. Hold on. If I don't get it right, what do? I go into Greninja, but watch Water Shuriken doing to Mega Diancie. Mega Diancie, Greninja. Slowbro didn't reveal... Yeah, he knows we're Assault Vest. Slowbro didn't reveal leftovers, so he's probably Rocky Helmet. Water Shuriken does do a lot to Mega Diancie, but he does knock us out back. I think we have to go for... Because we live any hit. How much is Thunder Punch doing to it? About 50%. It's worth it. Let's go for the Thunder Punch. Okay. Okay, so he does go into Slowbro. Now we find out if he is Rocky Helmet. Yes, he is. Okay. Fully expected. Now our play is probably just to go. We've been into Zapdos on the Slowbro already, so I think now we go into Greninja. We get a lot of momentum that way because we outspeed his whole team. Okay, so we just go for the slack off. So now I can go for a big Dark Pulse. He doesn't really have a good switch in, so I'm just going to go for it. Okay, so he goes into Magnezone. How much is this going to do? 40%. Okay, let's see. Magnezone, we'll assume it's Choice Scarf to Greninja. We did 40%, so that thing is bulky. I think that's Assault Vest. That is Assault Vest. Okay, so that is one Assault Vest Magnezone. Latios resists its dual stab, so does Nidoking, but Nidoking's already taken a fair bit. I think I'm going to go into Latios. Okay, we took that fairly well. We do have Earthquake, which we can fire off. I don't think he stays in though, because he probably thinks we have Earthquake. So I think now might not be the worst time ever. No, I think I have to fire off an Earthquake. Yeah, so he does go into Cryogonal. Unfortunately, we don't have Recovery, so we can't heal the damage back. He's probably going to go for an Ice Beam. I might just I think I'm going to go into Passimian. I think I'll go into Passimian. Okay, so we just go for the Ice Beam. He doesn't get the Freeze, which is fantastic. He doesn't want to stay in here either, so I'm going to go for a U-turn. We can get some momentum back. We really need to hit him back hard because he's doing quite a lot of damage to us. Okay, so Slowbro has revealed Teleport and Slack Off. That thing is really going to be a problem, so we need to make sure we can deal with it. We need to make sure we get predictions right, whatever. Okay, so he goes into Conk, we get the U-turn off. I think now we go back into... what do we do? I think we go into Nidoking. Okay, Conk Elder to Nidoking. Mark Punch is doing about 26%. We live that, no problem. Sludge Wave is doing a shit ton back. I think we go into... Yeah, we definitely go into Nidoking here. Sludge Wave does a lot. Earth Power also does a lot. I think we go for a Sludge Wave. I don't think he goes into Magnezone on this thing. Magnezone is Assault Vest. So, max HP, Assault Vest, Earth Power, still kills. He decided to stay in and live the Sludge Wave, and he knocks us out with a knockoff. That's okay. We'll definitely take that trade. Now I think we can go. Okay, that's problematic, but we do still have things for the Magnezone. Now I think we go into the Zapdos. We can go into Zapdos, although because that allows for Diancie to put in some work because that Nidoking's gone down now. I probably should have thought that through more. Okay. So what does he do? What does he do to us? Regardless, I think we just go for a Thunderbolt for damage, and we see what he does. Okay, so he just takes it. That's okay. We knock it out with Zapdos. Diancie's probably going to come in now, in which case I'm not quite sure what we do. He probably predicts the switch though. How much is Diancie Mega doing to my Zapdos? Diamond Storm kills, which is really worrisome. If he goes into Landorus Scarf Landorus probably might kill. Okay, he goes into Diancie. I get the feeling that in this game I'm not going to be able to find a good opportunity to set up, so I think I'm going to go into Latios and let that thing go down. Although it could still be a decent switch into Magnezone. No, not really. It's not really a Magnezone switch in. Nothing is really a Magnezone switch in. But I need Zapdos around. So if I let Latios go down, I can then go into Melmetal. How much is Passimian doing to Diancie, actually? Diancie Mega. Close Combat's doing quite a lot. I think I'm going to go into Latios. Okay, so we just go straight for the Moonblast and knocks us out. Okay, now we go into Melmetal. Chances are he goes into Slowbro. So I'm going to What do I do? Does he predict me predicting the switch into Slowbro? And okay, because this guy's he's really good. I think I'm just gonna go for. I don't think there's any reason why he doesn't switch into Slowbro here. I don't think there's any reason why he doesn't do that. So which I think I'm gonna go into Zapdos. Yeah, so he does just switch. Now we can go. Now we can get off a big Thunderbolt. I don't think he goes into Landorus here. We outspeed it. If he does go into Landorus. Okay, so he just goes into Cryogonal, which is okay. We get some big damage. We don't get a paralysis. That is okay. Now we can go into Melmetal. That thing is probably heavy duty boots, to be honest. Okay. He goes for the recover. That's cool. We can probably go for a... He probably just predicts the Zapdos switch in again, so I'm going to go for a double Iron Bash. I think he predicts the Zapdos switch in. Then again, he's got no reason not to just... Oh, he doesn't. Okay, cool. We get 2 big hits off. How much are we taking from Landorus? Scarf Landorus, Earthquake's doing 68. We actually have a chance to live it. How much is Greninja taking? Greninja can live it. If he's... Oh, max attack. I want max attack. Still can live it. It might be worth... Okay, he probably... Does he go for an Earthquake or does he predict the switch? He probably predicts the switch here. If he doesn't, we still have a chance to live. But we kind of need the HP for the Diancie, because the Diancie is a serious problem. It also comes in on the Cryogonal reliably, which is really good. I think we take the risk. We got to take the risk. I think we're going to go for another double Iron Bash. He just goes for the Stealth Rocks. That's okay. We get the kill. We get the kill. Good play. Okay, so now he goes into Roosevelt. Now I'm going to go into Greninja, because I've gone into Zapdos every time. And with Rocks up, I don't want to take that plus damage, whatever he's going to fire off plus damage. I can also get a big hit off with Greninja if he goes into anything else. Okay. He just goes for the Scald. That's cool. He gets the burn. That's cool. I can go for a Dark Pulse now, because he does not have a switch in. Unless Diancie is a switch in to Dark Pulse, kinda. But if it is, it goes down to a Water Shuriken. So he just goes into Cryogonal. That Cryogonal is very tanky. I think we live a hit from the Cryogonal. Actually, we can probably calc the damage it did on Passimian. It didn't have Freeze Dry. It had Ice Beam. Ice Beam onto Passimian did about 44%. So let's see how much special attack he's got. I don't think he's got any. Yeah, he doesn't have any. So, on Greninja, Ice Beam does about 24%, so let's just Dark Pulse. If we can get a flinch... No, we don't get a flinch. Okay, now I think we go into Melmetal. He has Freeze Dry as well. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So now he probably goes back into Slowbro. Oh no, he might predict... How much are we taking from Diancie now? How much are we taking from Mega Diancie? From Earth Power from Mega Diancie up to 43%. So we can still live, but after Rocks, we are currently on 49%. It's a good chance. It's a chance to kill after Rocks, but it's not a good. It's not like a really big chance. Something like 6%. So we'd be very unlucky. But he may not be running max special attack because he is running mixed. Although the mixed is probably just for the Zapdos. So what we could do, we might just stay in, but I don't think we do want to stay in. Although we can't really switch out into anything is the other problem. So I think we go for the double Iron Bash. I think we just stay in and go for the bash. If he goes into Slow... Yeah, so he went into Slowbro. Let's go for a Thunder Punch. we can get some big damage off, because we're going to go down. We're pretty much just letting Melmetal go down now. It's almost a point where Persimmon can come in too, but I'm pretty worried about that. Okay, so we stayed and we made that play. We probably shouldn't have made that play, to be honest. We got to play aggressive. We got to try and find a way to win. That Cryogonal is very worrying, but he can't switch into 2 Dark Pulses now, which is fantastic. He just goes for the Slack Off. Okay, but we get a big Thunder Punch crit, which is huge. So now, okay, what do? We are Specs Greninja. I think we go into Greninja and we fire off a Dark Pulse. Because nothing takes 2 except for Diancie. But Diancie's worrying. We might have to let something go down to Diancie. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. But we've still got the Specs Shuriken though, if he does go into Diancie. If he goes into Diancie, we might be able to win with Greninja, but the burn chip could be really, really worrying. Okay, so he just goes into Cryogonal. So he takes the Dark Pulse. He's not going to be able to take another, so we're going to let it go down. He's going to let it go down. And then he's probably going to go back into Diancie. I'd assume he goes back into Diancie, or we could go into Magnezone. Yeah, so he goes into Diancie. I think now we let Zapdos go down, and then we go into Persimmon. Just goes for the Moonblast, that's okay. So now we go into Persimmon. Let's get a close combat off. Okay, oh, it goes into Slowbro, I forgot. I misplayed. I should have gone for the U-turn. I was about to like second guess myself and go for the U-turn. I misplayed. We have to go hard into Greninja, but he's probably just going to go for a Scald. I misplayed. Oh no. Oh, I misplayed. That's not good. But we just got to go for another close combat. If we get a crit, no, we don't. Let's try and go for the crit. See if that'll help. Nah. He's just gonna keep going for slack offs. Okay, let's just go for the Dark Pulse. We'll go for the we'll just play for the damage. Okay. We can't win this one. That's okay. We could get a flinch. Flinch? Nah. That's unfortunate. I'm really misplayed. I really misplayed. I should have clicked U-turn and then go into Greninja, but it is what it is. I tried playing aggressive, but it didn't quite work out. Oh well, that's just another loss. It is what it is, and I will just see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Pokemon related content. See you guys.